This week, I was asked a question by one of my AMA subscribers about productivity and the fact that did I have any suggestions in terms of technology to help them to be more productive, and because they felt like they were sort of on a hamster wheel running as fast as they could and there weren't enough hours in the day. So yes, I absolutely do. And in this AMA video, I'm going to share with you my top 3 productivity hacks. My aim is to help you to be less of a busy fool and feel more settled, more structured, and more able to actually make things happen within your business. So the first one is, I think people try and keep too much information in their heads. So productivity hack number 1 is good old pen and paper. Get everything out of your head. Your head isn't that great at keeping all of this information all together and structured in any kind of way. So I want you to do a brain dump, if you like, of all of the things that you've got to do onto paper, and then you can split them up into what is really urgent and needs doing ASAP, what could wait, what could someone else do, like what could you delegate, what is all the stuff that you think, oh, actually that's not important at all, and sort of have a much more structured approach in terms of timescales and what needs doing, when it needs doing, and get it all out of your head. That in itself will help you to have a much better night's sleep and feel rested than running around with all of the information trying to keep it all in your head. Productivity hack number 2 is calendar blocking. So this is where you then take that task list that you've just come up with and you put it into your calendar in blocks, and you put everything into your calendar. So I started doing this in my corporate job way back over 10 years ago, and it made such a difference. So what I did was I blocked out my lunches, I blocked out time for certain projects, certain hours projects, time to look at my emails, time to get back to people. Every single thing that I needed to do, I blocked it out in my calendar. To start off with, I realized that I couldn't fit everything that I had to do in my calendar. So that was a big lesson. And I ended up having a conversation with my manager to say, okay, I'm squeezing way too much in, I don't have enough time. Which then led to some priority decisions being made over the work that I was doing, and that made things a whole lot easier. So it helps those priority decisions to happen, and it helps you realize when you are full and not book more stuff in. It also helps, so then if something comes in, I say, okay, I'm doing that a week on Tuesday, I'm doing that 2 weeks on Wednesday, and I book it out in my calendar in advance. So then when I look at my calendar each day, it's all blocked out in time bands of everything that I've got to do, and everything fits. So calendar blocking really made a massive difference for me, and it helps you to have better conversations. So then when somebody comes in and says, can you do X? You can look at your calendar and go, okay, I could do it on Friday, or I could do it in 2 weeks, or I'm really busy, or I can shift that priority around and do it then instead of that. So you can have much better educated choices in terms of productivity. So calendar blocking is my second suggestion. My third suggestion is automation and automating tools. So have a look at the work that you are doing and ask yourself if you can do that better in an automated process. So there comes a point in all businesses. I know when I started, I didn't have the money to spend on systems. So I would, for instance, manually send invoices at the beginning and manually book people into my calendar and those sorts of things. There comes a point when you realize that you're past that point and it's time to invest in some automated tools. So the ones that I go through and recommend, I'll put links down to these below. One is accounting software. So I use Xero as my accounting software. I really enjoy it. I really like it. But that allows me to automate my billing process. So now I can set up an invoice and send it. I can take a picture of a receipt and have it straight into my accounts, those sorts of processes which do save time. So accounting software is one thing that I would suggest. The next one is a booking software. So I use Calendly as my booking software. I also know people that use Acuity as well. So have a look at some booking software, so that then on your website you could have a, book a discovery call with me, but they could immediately book it in your calendar, and you're not having the emails to and fro for clients booking in their appointments. They could book them in automatically, and those sorts of things. You can pay for those systems and also have them doing the payment side of things, so then you don't have to mess about with payments either. It can automatically go from when they book, they pay, which automates that part of the process for you as well. The next automation software is an email autoresponder. So I've done other AMA videos about these. I'll link that below in terms of, do you need an autoresponder? These systems automatically schedule and send emails. So things like, if you had a webinar, it would send a reminder for that webinar when they've booked, or things like if you want someone to do a sign up to a PDF and then you want 8 emails afterwards to go through, sort of, take them through that journey with you and sign up to a discovery call, you could set that all up automatically in an email autoresponder. I use Aweber. I also know people that use MailChimp. So there are systems out there that can enable you to kind of keep track of your list of people for newsletters and signups and things like that, and then automatically send their emails for them. So you have to set them up once and then they automatically go through. So I think if you're getting to a point where there's not enough of you, then it's time to start having a look at automating some of those processes. And those are some of the suggestions to get you started. So as a recap, my 3 productivity hacks. Number 1, get everything out of your head. Stop running around with everything in your head trying to make sense of everything. Get it all out on paper and make some decisions on priority, delegation, what's important, those sorts of things. You can see it so much better and easier when it's out of your head and on paper than you can just trying to think about it and trying to figure it all out yourself. Second one, calendar blocking. So block all of your tasks out on your calendar so that then you know that everything fits and you can make much better decisions over the amount of work that you give yourself and when that work is going to take place. Book in things like times for emails, book in your lunch, book in everything into your calendar. And the third one is automation. So have a look at accounting software, booking software, and email automation software, so that then you can automate some of your processes. If you've got all of that in place and you're still struggling, then I think it's time to start looking at online creations and how we can help you to make money in a recurring way, so that then you can make money without it having to be you, and add other things to your one-to-one sessions. So if that's the case, then do have a look at my accelerator. I'll put the details to that below as well, because that I can help you to start to have a look at your business and how we can create some more things so that we can make more money in a recurring revenue style. So I hope that's helped. That's it for this week, and I will see you next week in the next AMA.